On this episode of Spotlight, we find out why UNLV's Got Talent. We also sit down with a local spoken word artist. Don't go anywhere, this is Spotlight. Hello everyone and welcome to the last episode of Spotlight where we bring you all things entertainment. I'm Keeleen Talents.
And I'm Chita de los Reyes.
Unfortunately, our co-host Annabelle Rocha couldn't be here with us today due to health issues. We're not here for what happened, but we are here for your swift recovery.
Speaking of what we're here for and what we're not, it's time to kick off our Here For It segment. So Las Vegas recently just hosted the American Country Music Awards at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. And now the arena is gearing up for more celebrities to come into town.
Ooh.
The Billboard Music Awards is returning to Las Vegas with the newest voice coach, Kelly Clarkson, as the host. And artists like Kendrick Lamar, Bruno Mars, and Ed Sheeran all topped the nomination board with 15 each. So for Billboard's back in town, here for it, not here for it.
Here for it. Who
Yes.
wouldn't be here for Billboard's coming back to Las Vegas?
Oh yeah, and
That's gonna be crazy.
All those artists that I mentioned, so Kendrick Lamar, Bruno Mars, Ed Sheeran, Taylor Swift, and Drake are all nominated for top artists.
Ooh,
So
that's hard.
that is a hard one. I mean,
I feel like Kendrick's gonna take it.
I think he's
have a
gonna take the
feeling.
W. Although I love Kendrick and I love Bruno, those are my top two that I'm rooting for. So
We're just gonna have to see. But on top of celebrities, Live Nation had a sweet deal for Las Vegas locals, and for those that plan on watching these upcoming shows, the company allowed people to pay only $20 for
Oh,
tickets.
yeah.
Some upcoming concerts and shows in Las Vegas are Backstreet Boys, Fall Out Boy, Kevin Hart, and Kesha and Macklemore, and much more. Are you here for companies doing this sweet deal, or are you not here for it?
yes, for anyone that knows me, I'm a huge
Here for
concert
it.
fan. Even though $20 you might
$20.
be all the way up there, but it's still a deal. I mean,
$20 is actually really cheap for all these concerts and shows. People would pay so much for it, so that's gonna be.
it's definitely an experience that you got to do, and you got to take advantage
take
of that.
advantage, yeah.
$20, it doesn't come often.
I'm here for companies doing that though, because that's really nice of them.
Oh yeah, concerts are a whole different experience,
Definitely.
and movies are also an experience, and especially with universes like the Marvel Universe with a huge movie series, they
Right.
never disappoint, and it also never fails to make history. So the Avengers Infinity War has broken the record for highest box office total during its debut weekend
go.
with an amazing $250 million. And according to The Hollywood Reporter, it bested Star Wars The Force Awakens, which earned $248 million during its debut weekend. So whether you've seen it or not, Avengers, here for it or not here for
I
it.
am here for it.
Oh,
I
yes.
still need to see it, and it's just crazy because Twitter, there's so many people are trying to spoil it, and I'm like, stop it, because I need to
Don't
watch
do
it.
it.
Don't do that to me. But I'm here for it.
I saw the movie and I saw a little kid come before the screening that I was gonna watch, and he was bawling, he was in tears, and I was like, is it that serious though?
It's not
After watching it, yes, it is that serious. 10 out of 10, heartbreak. So
I need
be
to watch
prepared
it.
to watch it.
I need to prepare myself. But on top of that, you know Mason Ramsey?
Oh,
Known
yeah.
as the yodeling boy, he went viral by yodeling his little heart away in Walmart. From Walmart to stage at Coachella to now receiving a record deal, Mason Ramsey has officially entered stardom. The 11-year-old boy released his debut single called Famous. Here for Mason Ramsey or not here for it?
You know, he's living his best life. Go him.
You know, he got to perform on a Coachella stage, and so many artists are trying to get to that point.
Yeah.
But he was like, you know what? There you go.
It's crazy how like these memes and virals just, rise up and
I
they get to
know.
do stuff like this. And actually, I wasn't really here for the yodeling at first, but
I watched it and I was like confused, but
that famous single is actually a bop. If you've actually listened to it, go listen to it.
It's
Search
actually
up
pretty
Mason
good.
Ramsey Famous. It's actually really good.
So speaking of people that are trying to upcome on the rise, you know something else I'm here for is all the talented students here at UNLV. That's why Annabelle decided to check out UNLV's Got Talent competition. Annabelle was there and she's going to show you guys what it's all about.
The event is a new take on what used to be called UNLV Idol. This year, not only could singers compete, but dancers were invited as well. Event coordinator Justin Lang told us about starting to organize the show back in February.
We had callbacks on February 9th for those contestants who sparked interest in the judges and they feel like they should continue. The next side was the YouTube rounds.
At the audition, they recorded it, and then if you made it to the next round, they took the recording and posted it on YouTube. And then you had people vote for you, and then they picked the top 7.
After their performance, contestants were critiqued by the judges.
So, really, really well done. Congratulations. And you have fans here, so that's good.
But ultimately, the audience had the final say as they cast their votes and chose the winner.
The winner of UNLV's Got Talent is
Sarah Nishat.
You just won. How do you feel?
Relieved, humbled, just great all around. Just really, really grateful for everything, you know, the whole opportunity, and really grateful for everybody that put it together, and humbled by the experience and excited for the next thing that UNLV puts on.
Are you going to be back next year?
Oh, for sure, for sure, for sure.
For Spotlight, I'm Annabelle Rocha.
One event that's been going on for a while here at UNLV is UNLVino. Our producer Denise Hernandez was there to find out what the wining and dining was all about.
UNLVino was started by Larry Rubo, who's the managing director of Southern Glacier, and our founding dean, Jerry Ballin. And it's all about creating scholarships for students. And for many of our students, the difference between a scholarship and not a scholarship is really the difference between working full-time or working part-time or working not at all. So Larry and Jerry had this incredible vision, and over 44 years it's turned into this beautiful event, as you can see right here.
UNLVino is an event for the students by the students. Everything from the planning and marketing of the event to the execution of the night is done by them. Leading the students are the Hospitality College's very own executive chef, Mark Sandoval, and assistant professor, Todd Uglow.
To see our students excel and to create this event and for it to be so successful, to see them shine and to garner all of that wisdom and knowledge for practical experience. I mean, this is the real deal. To put on an event for, I don't know, I'd say 3,500-ish, they've done an amazing job. So for me, to see them get that experience and to excel at it it's priceless.
The event has grown since its first year inside a warehouse at the Thomas and Mack Center. Community members, UNLV alumni, and proud parents came out to support this year's UNLVino.
Our daughter invited us. She's been all excited about it all semester, and we wanted to support her and to be here and experience the whole week. It's wonderful. What an amount of work and effort, and it's just a nice swinging place to be.
For the students, UNLVino gives them a taste of the hospitality industry and also provides the students scholarship funds to continue pursuing their dreams.
Everyone can benefit from the Hotel College from this one event, and the amount of money raised to benefit students is just amazing. That whether you're here volunteering or you're not, you can still benefit and find a way to capitalize from this, and that everyone here will help improve the Hotel College, and that's something that in hospitality we really cherish because we support the university and the city supports us back, so it's really fun to be a part of it.
Subukina Chutima, the daughter of restaurant owner and chef Safin Chutima, passed on a word of advice to students looking to break into the industry.
If you love the food and if the food loves you, you will be able to make that connection with your customers, and you'll be able to make connections with other people in that way. There's no reason to advertise if your cuisine is already that good.
For Spotlight, I'm Denise Hernandez.
If you missed out on UNLVino, no worries, they'll be back again next year. But now we're going to go to Kayleen, who's sitting with local spoken word artist Tree Hill.
Thanks, Giselle. Las Vegas is full of artists from the traditional paint to the modern digital. There isn't a lack of color in the city. One type of art that's seeing the light is spoken word. Here to talk about it to us is local spoken word artist Tree Hill. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
To start off, what inspired you to even do spoken word?
I would say from a lack of my father's presence in my life when I was a kid. That was the very first poem I wrote. I was also attending a performance art school at the time, so I was already creative. But yeah, that inspired my first poem.
And when you start writing, is there anything that immediately inspires you, or is it you just channel your inner emotions, or is there something that just clicks and you start writing right away?
I would say it's definitely an emotional motivation. Typically pain helps, to write. Just sort of navigating my own emotions, my own thoughts, and having the awareness of self and how I can get out of it, even if I don't have the answer immediately. Just kind of comes out of nowhere.
And what type of poems do you write? Like, what is do you have any type of main focus, like a type of you do, or is it just a variety?
I wouldn't say I do it intentionally. However, I've noticed that a pattern of mine has been just writing about the mind, how to navigate the mind and life, psychologically, spiritually, and what, just about sharing my journey that I know other people can relate to, because we're all human and we all sort of go through the same, not necessarily the same circumstances. However, we experience pain either the same or differently, and so I feel that sharing what I go through and how I navigate my own experiences can help other people do the same thing.
And what would you say is probably your favorite piece that you have written by far?
My favorite piece? I don't know if I have one.
Are they all pretty much like good ones where you can't really pick and choose, huh?
Well, I don't know. I criticize myself on like my performance sometimes, and like, oh, I could have written that. But I don't necessarily judge my poems in that way, like, oh, well, I do say, oh, that's a good line. I do say that. But I don't say like, oh, this one's better than that one, or I don't have a favorite. I think it honestly depends on who I'm talking to.
Right.
My poetry is very relative to who is in the crowd.
Got it.
So I have some stuff that's political or talks about, racial issues in America, to going within and understanding self. It's kind of all over the place.
Like a variety.
Yeah.
And I know you're part of Soul Sessions LV, so can you kind of elaborate more on that and what it's about?
Yeah, Soul Sessions LV is located at Raw Remedies, which is a hair care salon located on Colorado Avenue. And it's in the Arts District, so the heart of the Arts District. It's an all ages, community-oriented open mic that we put on once a month. It's always the Sunday after First Friday, so that weekend. And we just celebrated our 5th year anniversary. And our mission is to uplift the planet through art. And so we feature a few artists each month. At times we throw concerts. We host special editions with a theme that may or may not be at Raw Remedies, but that's for sure our home base. And
nice.
So that's Soul Sessions.
That sounds great. Well, thank you so much for being here today. And also be sure to keep up with Tree Hill and Soul Sessions on Facebook and Instagram at Soul Sessions LV. Until then, here's Plant Life Conversation by Tree Hill. Go ahead and check it out.
Butterfly. A name I was coined before I became one, still a cocoon. Learning to compile poetry and prayer, interestingly beautiful. I place my hands over produce grown by Monsanto. I am eating it for dinner. Electricity altering chemically, ooh, my food has transformed. Now, consciously distributes nutrients I've lacked. My point is, I had no idea trees grew so fast. How many experiences to realize its symbology? She's nothing but soil. Brittle, roots loose, flower on. At first, I was stuck in what seemed to be sand. No, you aren't your thoughts. No, you aren't your emotions. You aren't the thinker. Ego is thinking for you. You are whom you think you are. Sounds conflicting. Careful not to judge. Observe the informant. Do not force compassion. Laugh when you've lost authenticity. This isn't a game. What will you prove? Oh my goddess, you are an entity between spaciousness and form. I need water. My trunk began to thrive as God intended it to. Surrender. Trust in self. Who aren't you forgiving? You're identifying with pain again. Your mind will attempt to convince you that you are anger. You're experiencing anger. It isn't you. Question every belief you've ever had and don't be petty. Take responsibility. You know nothing. Be still. But how will I learn from plants that don't look like me? Haven't you heard of permaculture? You don't own your lover. Shed the condition. Release what isn't serving you love. Be the vehicle of which will allow for the channeling of your gifts and perform. Serve others. That is truth. Thank you.
If I knew, I can't really snap like that, but
You can't?
No,
Girl,
I'm not
you
that
do.
good at it. But thank you. That was so
Thank
good.
you so much.
Well, that wraps up our last show. Thank you so much for watching.
Remember, if you want to keep up with us, be sure to follow us on social media at Spotlight UNLV.
We want to give special thanks to all of our viewers for sticking with us and supporting us throughout our journey here on Spotlight. It wouldn't have been possible without all of you.
We also want to thank everyone at UNLV TV, especially Jennifer Ream, Ryan R.T. Thorpe, Dan Grives, and our lovely director, Albania Guido.
Thanks for watching and be on the lookout for the next Spotlight.